Welcome to the Dugout, your daily PSL hangout, जहां हर मैच की hot takes, key moments और expert analysis आपका इंतजार कर रहे हैं। आज हमारे साथ हैं क्रिकेट के legends, the Rawalpindi Express, शोएब अख्तर, the swing master, Sohail Tanveer, the trailblazing, Sanamir, Rohan Nadeem, Taha Sadakat, Aaron Holland। ये है द डगआउट, पीएसएल का असली पल्स चेक।
Hello, good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and thank you so much for joining us on the Dugout. मैं हूँ रोहान नदीम and you're watching us exclusively on Tamasha and Myco. We are back and this is your daily PSL hangout. मेरे साथ हैं जी मेरे co-host. He has made his comeback. He's back with us in the studio. Taha Sadakat, welcome back. And of course, आज हमने जो match देखा, match number 22 actually of the HPL PSL that just wrapped up in Lahore. So we will talk about that match, back-to-back losses for Islamabad United. So all of that coming up right ahead, and also there's a surprise today in the studio. There's a surprise guest. वो कौन है? I will reveal that in just a bit. But Taha, we have quite a, आज हमारा dugout जो है, it's quite full.
बिल्कुल भरा हुआ डगआउट आज हमारा। We'll start with the introductions. हमारे साथ सबसे पहले बैठे हैं अपने ज़बरदस्त बॉलिंग एक्शन की वजह से मशहूर, अपने ज़बरदस्त कमेंट्स की वजह से अब मशहूर सोहेल तनवीर, और उनके साथ फॉर्मर पाकिस्तान कैप्टन सना मीर, जो अपने ज़बरदस्त एनालिसिस और इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस के साथ हम लोगों को हर रोज़ ज़बरदस्त चीज़ें बताती हैं
और ज़बरदस्त डूडलिंग करते हुए हमें नजर आ रहे थे। द सुपरस्टार, द फास्टेस्ट बॉलर टू एवर प्ले द गेम, रावलपिंडी एक्सप्रेस, शोएब अख्तर। वेलकम बैक सर। एंड उनके साथ आवर स्पेशल गेस्ट टुनाइट, वेल you all know her, you all love her. There really needs to be no introduction. She is the face of HPL PSL, yes. The beautiful, the gorgeous and the multi-talented broadcaster, Aaron Holland.
Hi!
Welcome to the Dugout, Aaron. We are thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much. Bahut shukriya for you guys letting me come and spend some time with you on my day off. Yeah, I've heard wonderful things about the show. You guys seem like you have a really, really fun time. So stuff it. I want to come join you. I want to see what all the fuss is about.
And you're not hosting today, so how does that feel like?
It actually feels really wrong not having somebody in my ear 24/7. I feel very disconcerted not hearing 6 voices in my head at the moment. So I'm taking a little bit of getting used to, but you know what? I'm going to lean back, put the feet up and
just chill.
Let you do all the work for once. How good.
Absolutely.
This is what we do at the dugout. I mean, this is this is the feel here, and please join us and have fun with us on the show. Have a good time. Thank you so much for having
the game that we saw, I'll start with that, Aaron. Islamabad, some were saying we're peaking too early. Well, back-to-back losses for them. How do you assess today's game, and of course, how Islamabad's cruising has been so far?
I think the thing about this format of the game is some teams gel really quickly together and find that cohesiveness. Some take a little bit of time. They were lucky that they did manage to find that sense that they're playing 11 very early doors, but now everyone else is also coming to the party and they've also figured out their game. I feel like they're out and out explosive power hitters, but when people fall and you lose early wickets, and we all know that that's very contagious in this format of the game, all of a sudden you find yourself 3, 4, 5 down not too long after the power play. So for me, they probably got lucky with settling earlier in the comp, but now everyone else has had a bit of time and they're making their way through the comp.
We can keep discussing this while looking at the match summary for today. As we see, Islamabad United did not make a big total today, 143 for 9. Saabzada Farhan 36, and then Peshawar Zalmi ने easily chase कर लिया. ऐसा लगा बाबर के लिए भी एक अच्छी opportunity, एक अच्छी चीज़ उनको आज एक मौका मिला जिसमें उन्होंने एक लंबी इनिंग खेल के मैच को साथ चेस किया, और एक ज़बरदस्त नए प्लेयर जो डेब्यू कर रहे हैं पीएसएल पे, मास सदाकत, उन्होंने 55 किया है और इस मौके को पूरा यूटिलाइज़ किया और मैच जो है वो जिताया। जल्मी की तरफ से बॉलिंग में जैसे हमने देखा मोहम्मद अली ने 26 for 3, हुसैन तलत 14 for 1 and Saim Ayub also chipped in with a 16 for 1. इस्लामाबाद की तरफ से डोरशोस ने 23 for 1 and नसीम शाह 24 for 1 and मेयर्स 28 for 1. इस्लामाबाद बॉलिंग उस तरह से आज नहीं डिलीवर कर सकी जैसे इस्लामाबाद की टीम. एक उनकी शोएब भाई एक जो विनिंग स्ट्रीक थी वो लाहौर ने तोड़ी उस दिन और आज फिर बैक टू बैक
came to the screeching halt. As Aaron said it, well said it, that you peaked way too much earlier.
Yeah, very early
than
in
you
the
should have.
tournament. Yeah.
I mean, it happened to them early on before, and a couple of PSL that we talked about, and me and Sana was on another platform that we were discussing about it. I hope that doesn't happen, that they lose in then semis or probably in the playoffs. I mean, I hope they're resting their players to keep them fresh. They're getting their combination together. The captain sitting is outside, having a ball of a time. But at the same time, I think Salman Ali Agha, good to see him back on the field. But unfortunately, they did not play as well as they should have.
Sana, what do you think? I mean, after 4 wins in a row, the way Lahore defeated them and then now Peshawar defeated them, so derail ho gayi hai thodi si Islamabad United?
I think the way Islamabad United play, the brand of cricket, they generally want flatter tracks because they generally play in one gear. Unke sare batters agar aap dekhein, they want to make strokes. They generally target that bigger score, 190, 200. तो जब भी पिचेस डिफ़िकल्ट आती हैं इस्लामाबाद के अगेंस्ट तो उसमें कभी-कभी हमने देखा है कि कोलैप्स भी ये कर जाते हैं. So आज what they were finding difficult was rotation of strike. There was a time between 6th and 10th over where in 5 overs they only scored 18 runs and lost 2 wickets. And they had before that they had lost no wicket before that. So I think that phase of the game from number 6 to number 10, that is where Peshawar really got the grip on the game, and that is where they will be looking at. Power play में तो आपके 2 फील्डर बाहर हैं, आपको boundaries मिल रही हैं. But once the field is open, that's where they struggle today.
And in that first innings was really when Peshawar Zalmi were able to make those inroads against Islamabad United. So Hail, we know that of course the Lahore pitches were favouring the fast bowlers, and आज भी मोहम्मद अली जिनको last season हमने मुल्तान की तरफ से एक बहुत back-to-back match winning spells कराते हुए देखे, आज we got to see him in action in Lahore, and well that spell 3 wickets for him in his 4 overs, giving away 26 runs.
सोहेल की pick was Peshawar yesterday.
Yes, so एक तो आपको point भी आज
मुबारक देंगी.
मुबारक.
Thank you.
But then
Thank
your
you.
thoughts on Mohammad Ali today?
Good to see him back in form. न्यूजीलैंड के टूर से लेके अभी तक जो PSL के पहले मैचेस भी पेशावर ज़ल्मी ने खिलाए उनको, तो वो इतने इम्प्रेसिव नहीं लगे. जितना अच्छा उन्होंने पिछला PSL खेला था उस हिसाब से ये PSL या जो इंटरनेशनल डेब्यू भी उनका हुआ तो इट वाज नॉट इम्प्रेसिव. तो गुड टू सी हिम बैक. ऑब्वियसली उनके अपने कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए ये एक मच नीडेड परफॉर्मेंस थी जो कि आज उन्होंने की. एंड आई थिंक आज उन्होंने उस एरिया पे हिट किया जो उनके लिए सक्सेस का बाहिस रहा पिछले कपल ऑफ ईयर्स. अगर आप देखें जो डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट या लास्ट ईयर PSL की बात करें तो आज जो है उन्होंने बहुत अच्छे एरिया जो बैक ऑफ लाइन उनकी स्ट्रेंथ है उसके ऊपर बॉलिंग की, तो उसकी वजह से उनको कामयाबी मिली. और पहले 6-8 ओवरों में जिस तरीके की द होल पेशावर ज़ल्मी बॉलिंग लाइन अप, द वे दे बोल्ड, आई थिंक दैट सेट अप द टोन फॉर होल इनिंग. और आप देखें कि साहबजादा फरहान नॉर्मली in this PSL, he was batting at strike rate of 180 and he scored only 36 runs on 35 or 38 balls. That shows how good they have bowled. So I think Peshawar Zalmi के लिए superb bowling effort.
Yeah.
सब yes Ali stand out, उन्होंने 3 आउट किए, but अगर मैं figures देखूंगा तो everybody bowled
सबने contribute
well.
किया. Everybody who took the ball, they were able to get those wickets and create that enormous dot ball pressure. And
Aaron, you've been watching these matches on the ground. Do you think finally Peshawar's combination is becoming better enough to be able to win matches?
Yeah, well, they've had this really interesting situation where the people that they banked on getting them runs up the top of the order, Islam Ayub, obviously, it's so rare to see him so quiet for such a long period of time. They've had to search through their ranks in order to find those runs when they've had, the top order not firing as they would have hoped. I liked seeing Mitch Owen up the top of the order. I think if you're going to play him, you need to play him up top. We've seen what he does in Big Bash. He won the cup for the Hobart Hurricanes this year because he is so damaging, and I think he's a player that needs the field up just to get him going into his innings, and then once his eye is
Where
in,
should he play?
you
As an
can't
opener,
stop it.
right?
He's an opener.
He's like through and through opener, right? In Hobart, right?
Yes, Hobart Hurricanes he always opens, and that's where he was so damaging, and that is why he's here, because of what he did in Big Bash. So for me, I think Baba's an amazing three.
Amazing in three, yeah.
Amazing three, and I think obviously what we saw today, it didn't pay off for him at Owen. So Baba comes in and steadies the ship and does what he does. But when you've got a guy that can take you down like that, let him go, because you know Baba has the ability to bat in all different elements.
And
it also gives him a space to, to play around a ball too.
And I just wanted to ask you too, Shoaib, because when we look at Islamabad's successfulness, they were at home. They were at home in conditions that suited them, and they won 4 on the bounce. Now we're in different conditions where the bowling's a little bit more difficult, the batting's more difficult.
The ball is seaming a bit.
And
that's where the problem is.
Lahore's had crazy variation in their pitches as well. We had Aussie soil that was misbehaving. In Karachi, like, you should have seen what the Aussie soil did there. Like, we're not that temperamental, I promise.
Aaron, you're sitting with all the bowlers, so we don't call it misbehaving. We call it a good pitch.
I think that's like somebody
mic drop. But let's take a look at the points table, because even after those back-to-back losses, Islamabad United are still at the top of the table with 10 points, and they have that healthy-looking net run rate as well. But it says a lot, Shoaib, about Islamabad's campaign so far, that they are able to maintain that tabletop position.
Well, they have to decide either they want to be number 1 or they want to be number 2. Which team they want to play at? We're going to by winning on last games, right?
Yeah.
They got 1 more game to go, right?
Yeah, so they have 2
more.
more. They have played 7 now.
So if they go
They have
10
games, no?
So they have 3 more.
Yes.
3 more.
We're not done yet,
Lahore,
Shoaib.
yeah, they're not.
Only
And,
Lahore has 2 games, and Multan.
Lahore and Multan have 8. They've played 8 games.
So if they come back, they're taking long enough to come back.
But do you think they have a chance? They have that fight in them.
Yeah, Multan Sultan have a chance to get out early.
Yeah,
They already have.
to go home and put their feet up.
Just put the foot out, yeah. I think I took a fall for them. Take us back on again, yeah.
Negative net run rate.
All right, bye-bye. So, yeah, I think they just need to win a couple of more games and to decide who they want to play against. I think this looks like a good team, good combination. When there comes a playoff, I think they'll play one of the best team. They got the best fast bowlers, they got the best 2 spinners, and they got the best captain and the best environment when you call the management team, which is done by a great job done by from management to stabilize the team. And so is the Hatco have a lot of praises for Quota Gladiator, Mike Hassan. Yeah, absolutely fantastic guy. But the rumor, the Mike Hassan been approached from Pakistan Cricket Board to coach Pakistan team. If he comes, I really want him to come, with the full authority, with the full plan, and shouldn't be any more ambushes like Jason Gillespie.
Aussie's misbehaving. Like what? No, he's not misbehaving.
Nah, he's a great guy.
We love him. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy.
Great coach.
Wonderful, great coach. No question about it.
सोहेल आपसे पूछूंगा, क्योंकि हम टूर्नामेंट में मुसलसल पेशावर की बॉलिंग कॉम्बिनेशन के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो फाइनली बॉलिंग कॉम्बिनेशन किसी एक शक्ल में आ रहा है कि आज उन्होंने एक छोटे टोटल पे रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया उनको?
नहीं, बिल्कुल पिछले 3-4 मैचेस से बल्कि आप कहेंगे कि उनकी बॉलिंग परफॉर्मेंसेस जो हैं वो बतदरीज बेहतर होती गई हैं। तो वो मेरे ख्याल में आज एक कंप्लीट शो देखने को मिला। पिछले 2 मैचेस में 3 मैचेस में आपको कहीं ना कहीं आपको लगा कि कोई एक बॉलर जो रन्स हुए उसको, बट आज मैं कहूँगा कि एक कंप्लीट बॉलिंग शो अब हमें नज़र आया। और पेशावर ज़ल्मी के लिए आई थिंक इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि इस तरह का मैच ना आपको टूर्नामेंट में वापस लेके आता है। और 5वें नंबर पे दे स्टैंडिंग एट नंबर 5, मस्ट विन तकरीबन सिचुएशन है उनके लिए। तो इस तरह का मैच आपको ना कॉन्फिडेंस देता है। तो आई थिंक के ग्रेट फॉर पेशावर ज़ल्मी द वे दे बोल्ड, एज आई सेड अर्लियर के सब बॉलर्स ने अच्छा यूटिलाइज़ किया, जो भी कंडीशन थी उनको अच्छे तरीके से रीड किया, बैट्समैन को अच्छे तरीके से रीड किया। सो आई थिंक के पेशावर ज़ल्मी इज़ बैक।
बिल्कुल। और जैसे कि रोहा हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया कि एक डेब्यूटेंट PSL डेब्यूटेंट माज सदाकत, उन्होंने एक अच्छी इनिंग खेली। और
रिलेटिव तो नहीं है,
थोड़ा जरूरी है, इसीलिए जरूरी था उसके बारे में बात करें। कैसा है फ्यूचर प्रोस्पेक्ट, कैसा है माज?
देखिए, मैंने कुछ प्रोग्राम्स पहले बात की थी कि I've heard a lot about him before this match, माज सदाकत के बारे में। It's so good to watch him come and express himself. Perfect timing for him, not a huge target to chase, but जिस तरीके से approach किया है, 4 चौके 3 छक्के, the strike rate of 166 on a pitch that was not so easy to bat on, I think speaks volumes about him, and I hope कि ये आने वाले matches में भी इसी तरह का perform करें. तो he looked pretty good.
दूसरे एंड पे बाबर जैसे experienced player अगर खेल रहे हो तो how much does that help in a situation like this?
देखिए सबसे अच्छी चीज़ मुझे जो लगी ना अबाउट मास सदाकत कि नॉर्मली पाकिस्तानी बैटर्स आर नॉट वेरी गुड स्क्वेयर ऑफ द विकेट. ही लुक्ड वेरी गुड ऑन दिस पिच विच हैड बाउंस. हमारे नॉर्मली जितने भी बैटर्स अभी तक लाहौर में खेले हैं तो आपने देखा है दे स्ट्रगल्ड, बट दिस गाय ही प्लेड हुक रियली वेल. इस तरह की पिच पे जहाँ एक्स्ट्रा बाउंस आता है वहाँ पुल नहीं मार सकते. सो व्हाट ही डिड, ही ट्राई टू हुक इट रादर देन टू पुल इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ स्क्वेयर. तो ये मेरे ख्याल में दैट शोज कि ही हैज़ दैट ब्रेन कि वो क्रिकेटिंग आपको अवेयरनेस विच नॉर्मली हमारे बहुत सारे बैटर्स विच दे लैक. So I think the good future prospect.
शोएब भाई आप हमेशा कहते हैं कि खब्बा जब अच्छा बैट्समैन आए तो उसकी एक लुक और ही जबरदस्त
He looks more stylish somehow. He's just like born stylish. The lefty he was talking about. So I think he just as Sana said, it speaks the volume of the talent that he has. I mean, as it rightly Sohail mentioned, I mean many people are trying to smash the ball. Then you just got to place the ball because the ball is hurrying up quickly towards you. So I think rather hooking, slashing, cutting the ball, I think, towards the square of the wicket, I think that matters a lot. But having said that, I think it's, after all, very clinical innings, and I think well-suited situation for Babar Azam that, he went out there to, it looked perfect.
Perfect
Picture.
debut. Like,
Yeah.
you've got King Bubba down the other end.
Yeah.
You score a 50. You're 19 years old, only played 21 domestic matches, and then you go and do something like that. Like, I get goosebumps when I think of that.
Dream
Like,
debut,
what
I think dream debut
dream
for
debut.
him.
Yeah.
And
It's
obviously,
exciting.
I want to come towards Babar's knock as well. Sana, how do you assess the knock? 53 not out of 49. He managed to hit 1-6 and 4 fours. Not the most ideal strike rate, but of course, he saw that दूसरे end पे Maz was doing all of the work.
I think अगर मैं एक लफ्ज़ में कहना चाहूँ, he looked comfortable. Number 3 पे, that is more of his style where he can accelerate when he wants to, when he wants to take his time. पहली shot outstanding, the way he got off the mark, बहुत ही खूबसूरत shot से off the mark. फिर थोड़ी देर के लिए struggle किया, थोड़े dot balls हुए, but the moment he started getting boundaries, थोड़ा सा ease off होते रहे, और फिर मास सदाकत के आने से उनको मज़ीद वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई. और अच्छी चीज़ आज बाबर की इनिंग्स में नज़र आई थी, कुछ डिफरेंट करना चाहते, डाउन द विकेट अपनी विकेट्स को एक्सपोज करके कोशिश कर रहे थे ऑफ साइड को भी खोलने की. तो ये एक अच्छी चीज़ है.
साथ ही पहली बॉल पे he delivered, he went for those gaps and he showed that intention जो हम बड़े टाइम से जो है मिस कर रहे थे. बट पेशावर ज़ल्मी,
I want to add one point about Maaz Sadakat, which looked really great. कि he came in and he took pressure off from Babar. जो भी साना ने कहा कि वो he was struggling and they were 3 down, but the way he came in and he took the charge and वो सारा pressure बाबर से ले लिया, I think that showed that this kid has character.
And plus, he has the bit of protection in the shape of Mitch Owen and Sam Ayub. Babar can take his sweet time. And then you have the one more wonderful guys, Haris is coming in.
Yeah.
And then you got Sadakat, right? And then the Max Bryant. I mean, there is a lot of cover for Babar for him to take as long as he wants. But, he has a firepower in the team. I'm glad that he's given an option to Mitch Owen, because that is rightly said by Aaron, that, this guy deserves a place on top.
So रोहा, माज भी कॉन्फिडेंस से खेलें और बाबर भी कॉन्फिडेंस से खेलें, तो इस कॉन्फिडेंस की वजह क्या हो सकती है आपके?
ये भी आप ही बताएं, रिवील करें.
जब इंसान क्लियर मेन शैम्पू यूज करता है और उसकी कंधों पे डैंड्रफ नहीं गिरती ना, तो फिर वो कॉन्फिडेंस आता है जिससे ऐसी इनिंग खेलने को मिलती है. इसके साथ हम लोग लेंगे एक छोटा सा ब्रेक ऑन द डग आउट. यू आर वाचिंग अस एक्सक्लूसिवली ऑन तमाशा एंड माइको. विल बी राइट बैक आफ्टर दिस ब्रेक. Hello, and welcome back. You're watching us on the dugout at Tamasha and Myco. और अब हमारा जो नेक्स्ट सेगमेंट है जो आप लोगों को बहुत पसंद है, जिसके लिए आप हर रोज इतने सारे सवाल हमें भेजते हैं, इट्स कॉल्ड आस्क द एक्सपर्ट. Gee, so keep sending your questions and don't forget to use the hashtag DugOutExperts. And today's first question is with Roha.
Right, so I've got a fun one for Erin. Erin, all these years of you
I'm
coming
not
to
an
Pakistan,
expert. Why am I getting asked this?
spending weeks and months in Pakistan all these years, you must have picked up on some Urdu. And I know that, so you cannot deny it. But say a few words. What are your go-to words in Urdu?
I mean, I always start the show with Assalamu alaikum, Pakistan, Mehu Erin Holland, and Bahut Shukriya for joining us at the Pitchside studio.
Wow.
I've learned all the bad words because
You
he
can
doesn't
say
learn all the bad
those.
words.
Say, don't
I'm not going to
bad
say
That to
those
me
though.
here later on. Yeah.
I love just dropping in little bits and pieces whenever I can, whether it's, bahut sardi hai, like in this studio right now because the AC is so cold, or dekho barish ho rahi hai. And,
Remember I taught you about when you were hungry as well. Remember the bhook lagi hai?
Book lagi hai, yeah. Book
I
lagi
taught her
hai.
that one.
Or Danny Morrison, pagal, pagal. Musty makava. Naughty.
Dominic Court taught you that one.
Dominic Cook.
That's Pashto.
And you remember this? Nothing good in life is jota, everything good is bara. See, bigger is better.
Well, I also know
Butter
that
is
you
better.
can sing. You can sing
Butter is
really
better.
well. We know how good you can sing. So can you sing us a few words in Urdu?
Oh, like what?
Maybe like a Dil Dil Pakistan.
Okay. Deal, Pakistan, John, Pakistan, deal. Oh, I do. Dekho barish ho rahi hai. It's raining.
Beautiful.
I need to learn some more songs.
Wow.
My party tricks.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a couple of facts there about Erin Holland that the many Pakistan doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
That she eats around about 6 burgers at a time in one
Do
sitting.
not.
I mean, I'm ordered a couple of burgers. She eats like it's anything. Roa, back me up on this one.
I do eat.
Yeah,
I
actually-
I mean, asking somebody that who eats also a lot, which is Roa too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Sana, you're the witness, right?
That's why she's only taught her bhook lag rahi.
What are the relevant words?
Yeah, the most important thing she's taught is bhook lagi.
Bhook lagi, yeah, then it's
But where does it go? I mean, you eat so much. I mean, you spend a lot of time on the streets,
I go to the gym.
exploring food.
on the streets.
On the
Exploring
street
streets.
food.
Yeah,
And,
this
you've
trip
been-
I've actually seen you becoming
Yeah.
a little bit of a food influencer.
Yeah.
Eat biryani in
What is it?
Karachi.
Yeah.
She
went for a nalli biryani in Karachi.
Anything. I do train like anything. I train every day. I think particularly when you're in these really long hours in the studio, to actually get up, get your body moving. We all know that
She is
clarity
very
of mind
disciplined. I've
comes
worked with her. I've worked with her.
In the last show we did, you actually tried golgappe, right? So
Yeah,
you made this
golgappe.
video of like, that was interesting.
That
That was interesting.
That was really yummy.
All right, Taha, next question.
The next question is for Mr. Shoaib Akhtar, and it is about Erin Holland.
Oh, God. Ask me. I'll tell you
So-
everything. I worked with her.
Asif has asked that Shoaib, you have worked with her before
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
and for longer spells. How have you found her as a co-host or a colleague? And over the years, what have you learned from her as a host?
Aaron, I think is one of the finest find for PSL and around the globe. I mean, she is a great presenter when it comes to talking about cricket. She has a great, vast knowledge of cricket. And at the same time, she loved this country. And she has, her services will be remembered for longest period of time. You don't have to say it, this is Erin Holland. Any city of the Pakistan you go to, that they will they know this is Erin Holland. So you're as famous as us. But at the same time, I think that she's very foodie, that she trains. I mean, every woman that is listening to me, this is the girl that who trains for at least nothing less than 2 hours, straight up, no question asked. No matter whatever she does, she works about 16 hours a day. She goes back, she trains, and then she वो खाने की तबाही मचा देती है. So, yeah, but working with her, it's just like very pleasantly surprised that she's very welcoming, she's very accommodating, she'll give you a lot of space to talk about, and then she will never judge you, and that's the best part about you.
Beautifully answered. I think we all got a glimpse of who Erin Holland is beyond what we see, of course. And I've got another fun one now. And it's about, of course, everybody knows you're married to Ben Cutting. He's a professional cricketer. How much has that helped in your own experience of being a cricket presenter, and how much do you share with him? Does he share it with you? Tell us about that.
I think he hates it because now I have even more insight to actually ask him and make him to deep dive his performances and how things are going. So it's not just like, how was training, babe? Yeah, good. I'm like, no, how was it? How'd you go? Did you nail your legs? Have you been working on this? Oh, you got out this way again. And he's just like, I don't want to talk about it. I just need my space. He's like, can he just not? And he always says that I love it far more than him, and I think that's fair. I'll recreationally be just watching absolutely everything, and the poor guy just wants some space from work, and here I am watching absolutely every single game. But it actually is quite difficult when you are working on a game that he's playing on, because you're in his workspace. You know, cricket is really emotional. It's frustrating. It can be exciting. It's got all the heightened emotions. And here's your wife just sitting there being like, particularly when they get out early and you just want to sink into your chair. You're like, I'm not here. I'm sorry, babe. And I'm like, I'm in for it tonight. It's not going to be very fun. And so it's actually had its challenges for sure. But I think the appreciation I have of what it takes to do what you guys have all done is immense, and working in it from our perspective is really,
I mean, there is a lot of cricketers has a wife who actually, what kind of feeling do they go through? I mean, you know, they have a lot of pressures, you know, and then you're traveling a lot, you're working. How does it work it out? How do you guys work it out together? You guys are always on the foot.
We are, and for a while there we used to do the same comps, which was great, but then as we know, you're not in the same city every 5 seconds, so we could both be in Pakistan, but I'm in Lahore and he's in Karachi, or I'm in Pindi and he's in Multan, so the time together wasn't so great. But it's really lovely to have your family with you, but that's the one thing I love about doing this job is we all become like family now, and I've worked with Sana for years now. You know, Sohail, you've played with Ben, you've played against Ben, we're all brothers.
What happened? What happened? Tell us what happened.
So he played with him, what happened?
Some friendly banter that started years ago, and you know what?
And you can't show that
a little bit of
gesture.
insight for you. I'm actually to blame for what happened that game because
Really?
so this all started in CPL, and the boys had some friendly banter and whatnot happened, and then that game where you guys played, Ben was playing for Zalmi, you were playing for Quetta. I actually was like, Ben, that's the guy that you know, and Ben went, it is too. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? So I feel really bad because I reminded him.
You reminded him
of the spice
and
before.
then,
but you know what? I think, yes, look, we should all be well behaved on cricket fields, but personally, as a spectator, I love
exactly.
You two are great now, everything's fine, but I think the one thing that franchise cricket has robbed us a little bit of is that competitiveness and that spice, because I play with you one day, I play against you the next day. I don't want to walk into a change room and he just be like, well, you know, you flipped me
I
off,
want to
so
bring
I'm
you
not
in
happy.
here just on this little flashback that we're hearing. We
Well, I
talked
think
about
that-
this on the show the other night as well.
Yeah, I've given my statement the other day, about it. So, first thing I said, it wasn't as Aaron said, kids are watching. You know, we are ambassador, right? So every kids who are watching, it wasn't a nice thing, but same time it happened, the heat of the moment, you know, things happened. It wasn't a planned thing from me, and I'm sure it wasn't a planned thing from him as well. See, maybe it was.
I don't know what goes on in his mind. I hope not.
I was so surprised. He waited for 5 years to get his revenge. You know, that was the thing.
I love that. Can you imagine?
He was reminded.
You waited for me to get old and not bowling so well on my peak, and then get your revenge. But anyways,
Now you are asking for another revenge.
All I'll say for hell is imagine living with the guy then. He holds a grudge.
exactly. Oh, wow.
Poor Ben, we need to take him on call
Now
right
I can say poor you.
but you know, as you said it, they should not sledge on the field.
No.
I mean, coming out from the guy that
Exactly.
you sledge.
No, never in your life.
never did
Never
that.
sit around.
He never did that.
And I guess
sledged,
the
never
only
did
issue
anything.
with Ben is, you know, there's so many little things that can get said, you know, little quiet little, you know, nips and whatever. But that was, quite an obvious gesture that no matter what language you speak, you know what he meant.
I know
So
everyone knows.
now I can assume that you kept on you know, pinching him for 5 years
Poking
to
him,
take
yeah.
your revenge.
Reminding him.
Take your
I
revenge.
swear I didn't. I swear I did not.
Okay.
But it's, you know, here he is. Do you
yeah.
want to have a little look at him again?
Show the camera.
No.
Where is he?
You remember he sorry.
No, I'm saying, hold on. Just by
He
watching
brought it up again like month ago. So I told
think
him, mate, I'm still one up.
I think that's
And now
where
you get
we-
to play legends against each other.
Yeah.
So bring
He's
it
coming.
on.
He's coming.
But I wanna see
WCL?
this.
Yeah.
There you go. Game
Continue.
on.
Game on it.
Round
Once
10.
again,
Game on
these
it.
are the things we talk about on this show, that these rivalries go a long way, and ये जैसे हमेशा शोएब भाई कहते हैं कि ये होनी चाहिए, इनकी वजह से जो है वो गेम अलाइव रहता है, जैसे बाबर वर्सेस आमिर चल रही है, इसी तरह ये चीज years later we were talking about it because
Yeah,
it's interesting. So this is what inspires people to, you know, follow the game, watch the game. The good boy game तो नहीं चल सकता हमेशा उस तरह.
Just fight more. Is that what you want?
Just rivalries
Friendly
ऐसी
banter.
जो है वो
Rivalry
interest
gets
create
out of
करती
really hand, I tell you right now. I mean, like me and Hayden, we just like, we are like this to each other on the breakfast table.
है. Yeah.
Love it.
Just before the game.
Yeah.
He was way too big of a guy. So I said, nah,
He's a
it's not a
unit.
good idea.
He
It's a
still
big
is.
unit. Great guy, huh?
Yeah.
So
A
actually,
fabulous
my
guy.
next question is about this. Somebody has sent this question for Erin. That how do you feel generally in Australia? How's Shoaib Akhtar taken as a cricketer? Because his brand of cricket was very much like how Aussies used to play their cricket. So he used to match them, and you know he used to have rivalries with Warney and Hayden and all these people. So how, as an Australian audience, how you guys used to take it, and what's his place in the Aussie pop culture in terms of cricket?
Well, he's still one of the scariest men to ever hold a cricket ball, right? And I think there's so many kids that go, I just want to bowl like the wind, like Shoaib Akhtar. And there's all those names that you mentioned. The personality, the aura, everything about these players transcended the sport, and they've become celebrities and icons because there's so much to love about the character and the performance of it. Like at the end of the day, cricket is entertainment. We're here to entertain a crowd, entertain the next generation, entertain all of you watching at home. So for me, a little bit of this spice in the right way is integral to the game and creating these characters that you then grow up loving for the rest of your life. And then all the people, like, you know, who watch you play, they're teaching their young ones about, you know, these great icons of the game. And so when you think of Haydos and Warney and Brett Lee and, you know, Mitchell Johnson and those big, you know, the big scary fast bowlers as well that just had that spice, like Sean Tate's here as well at the moment. Awesome to see the Wild thing as part of the coaching group as well. Yeah, for me, I think it's an integral part of the game and one that I hope we don't lose. And I know it's really hard because social media is out there now and everything you say and do comes back to haunt you forever. But, you know, for me, that's what makes cricket so exciting, is getting to, you know, have these relationships with these people because they let you in and they're not afraid to bear it all. And when you were steaming in, you know, steam literally coming out of your ears, ready to, you know, bounce someone's head off. It was
I
exciting.
want to quickly loop you in on, just as we're on this topic, how is it like in women's cricket? I mean, how fierce are the rivalries and the grudges there? I mean, is there a particular one that has been going on for a while that you can tell us about?
I mean, absolutely. In our playing days, you'll always have maybe one or two people from a certain team that you would always have a special competition with. I always talk about Shabnam Ismail, one of the best fast bowlers I've ever played against and played with in league cricket. She's total box office. She's this tiny person in that way, but she is one of the fastest, and she is a great bouncer, great slow one, excellent mind. One of the best fast bowlers. And then when it comes to rivalries, I remember my own was with Madison Cap a lot. She was an all-rounder, I was an all-rounder, and I think I told the story before when we were playing World 11. Both of us were announced in the same team, and we were praying that we don't want the room with the other person. We were both praying the same thing, but when we entered the team hotel, we were roommates.
You were roommates?
Yeah, and I think from that day onwards, we became really good friends. So it's all about knowing the person off the field, and what I've realized mostly is that the most fierce the character on the field, the softest and the most friendliest they are off the field.
And that's true, I mean, for Shoaib Akhtar as well. I mean,
the man I'm
obviously.
dreading for last 10, 15 years, like he came out one of the best friends, which is Hados.
Yeah.
Best guy.
And he's a
Best.
teddy bear.
Oh, he
Off
is.
the field, he's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
But he would have
is.
been
Oh, he is tough.
brick wall on the field.
I mean, I remember playing the warm-up games. Oh, we shouldn't call it warm-up games. It's a 3-4 day game. I think 3
It was
day
a
games.
tour game before the
Tour game.
Yeah.
It's like he's kind of first class. Came out playing against
When he was
Queensland.
wearing the
like
red
4 day
helmet.
So
Red
he
Bull.
just got me
Yeah.
charged in, and I started steaming in, and I hit him twice. One here, one there on the helmet. Right.
He poked
This
the bear.
guy did not even blink for 1 second. And I thought, oh, that's going to hurt him. But he just stood there, and guess what happened? Got 100. And then
love you, haters.
I know. He's very fearsome, and so is Justin Langer. Lange was
Just because
fearsome.
we were talking about this, I don't want to miss out the opportunity of talking
Yeah.
about one more person who
is?
came the closest to you in speed, Brett Lee. And
Yeah.
another Aussie character we want to talk about,
Yeah.
and I want both of you to discuss how amazing of a person he is, and what sort of character he was on.
Just
on
before
ground.
you even start that, he hasn't lost it because you've been playing him in these Masters things
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
He's still steaming in
Yeah.
like you
He's
played
still-
him in
yeah,
Birmingham last
he's
year.
very competitive. I mean, yes, he lost his pace. I mean, but he feels it's still the same, and his attitude is the same. We played in WCL as well, and he really wants the same thing which he used to do, and that showed the character.
You should
I
be
think
ready
he
for
was,
a bouncer
he
because
was,
he's,
yeah.
if he's
Luckily,
listening.
I didn't have to face him, to be honest. I mean, I was lucky not to face him.
I always said that he was a better athlete than I was. I mean, he was A, that is very good looking, right? And A is a better athlete, but because the way he ran in, Shane Bourne and Brett Lee, I always believed that the far better the athlete than around the world. And then later part of the Dale Steyn came in, so he looked good. Mitchell Johnson looked great. I think the Brett has a fearsome attitude. It's a very easy action to pick.
Yeah.
But his pace was not very easy to pick. And when he gets going, and the best of his spell, I think, came out in 2003 World Cup. I think he was out of this world. And then I liked someone who's running in like this. I think I was a sight to see. I always watched him and never missed one ball when Brett Lee's bowling. So I always watched him. And I'm sure he did the same. Because
But he always complains about the fact that when he used to bat against you, why would you do that to him? He's like, I'm just a bowler. I'm leaving the 3 wickets and standing here, but he would still bowl at me.
Well, see, I was coming out of the injury, and then Brett Lee came in, and I was bowling about 100 miles an hour. And then he came in, and then we just had a great night before the game. So then, we thought we were best of the friends, but little that he knows that, on the field, while I'm training, while I'm on the
no
field.
one's friend.
No, I'm nobody's friends, not even to my wife, while she's training and I'm training. So she complains about it.
Wow.
Anyways, I just told Binga, listen, I'm standing about 100 meters away. I was shouting, look at me, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Hangman is coming in.
Well, those were some of
So just hit him up. I just told him I'm gonna hit you on the head. So I
At least
thought,
you warned him.
Don't, please don't. Even you warned him. If he come close to my neck, I'll be dead. So please don't. So I said, I'll bowl in a Yorker. So I did that and never got out.
A
But
couple of years ago, we were in Oman when you were playing the Legends League.
He was still running in.
So him and Brett Lee had an amazing
Yeah.
conversation with each other, which is still on YouTube. So I would want all of you to
Well,
go and
shot
watch
by
it.
you,
It
by
was,
the way.
It was,
Yeah,
yes, it
shot
was
by
good
you.
fun. You guys should watch it. It's a conversation between Shoaib Akhtar and Brett Lee is a treat to watch.
But that was a fun round of questions. So thank you all for sending us those fun questions. Time for a quick break here, but when we come back, we look ahead at tomorrow's game. It's Islamabad United once again up against Quetta Gladiators. You're watching The Dugout exclusively on Tamasha and Myco.
Gee, welcome back. After the break, you're watching us on The Dugout exclusively on Tamasha and Myco. और आज के लास्ट सेगमेंट पे अब हम आ चुके हैं जिसमें हम आने वाले यानी कल के मैच के बारे में बात करेंगे. So right away हम सीधा जाते हैं अपने सेगमेंट पिक विनर की तरफ.
Right, let's start with Erin Holland. Erin, Islamabad United back-to-back games, and they're facing Quetta Gladiators, who are also cruising through the tournament. Who's your pick for tomorrow and why?
Before that, I'm going to tell everyone that Erin is going to distribute her points if she wins to any of the panelists. So we're all trying to charm her that she should gift her points to us.
So what do I get? Who's going to make me the best offer? Guys?
Well.
Depending on what.
I'll take you to lunch.
Yes, that's
Tomorrow.
true. Copy that tomorrow. Look, I think back-to-back games for Islamabad. Quetta have had only success at this ground.
Yeah.
Islamabad have had 0 success. So given how the conditions are suiting the sides and back-to-back matches, I think I'm going to go with Quetta Gladiators again. I think it's time for Kusal Mendes to go big as well.
We'll come towards that in just a bit, because we do have that round where we ask everyone there.
All right, we're going to pick the
Hold
team,
on to
right?
the hold
I'm going
on
to say
to the name.
Quetta. Quetta for me.
Winner.
Since our very dear friend mentioned about the Quetta Gladiator, I'm going to go with the Quetta Gladiator.
2 for Quetta so far.
And I think with Shadab having an injury, a niggle, they are still watching. He's under observation. I do feel Islamabad losing 2 out of 2 in the last couple of games. Their camp will not be as confident as Quetta, and like Aaron mentioned, the conditions favor them as well. So I also go with Quetta Gladiator.
3 for Quetta Gladiators.
Sohail bhai.
Let's go with Islamabad, my own city.
Okay.
Just to make it a bit more spicy.
Make it more interesting. Right. Okay, 1 for Islamabad United. Taha.
Always going for the underdog. इस मैच में इस्लामाबाद underdog बन गया तो मैं इस्लामाबाद को support करूँगा. मुझे लगता है कि after 2 defeats, this is time for a big comeback, bounce back, and defeat Quetta. Yeah.
टेबल टॉपर्स हैं वो, और हम उन्हें अंडरडॉग्स कह रहे हैं. 2 दिन में कैसे हालात बदल जाते हैं, जज्बात बदल जाते हैं.
70% of the panel is supporting Quetta, which means underdog बन गया ना
Okay, I
Islamabad.
can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna agree with Taha. So hard for me to do that.
Finally.
Finally,
But
first
I'm
time in
gonna
this tournament,
have to
this is
agree with
happening.
Taha and go for Islamabad United. I hope, you know, and that way I might have a chance to get a point from Erin as well. So I'm not losing
Hedging a bet.
tomorrow.
Smart.
Keeping that math, girl math, Erin.
Girl math.
Girl math. Anyway, I think we've all picked our winners tomorrow. It's time now to pick our MVPs. Right. MVP, Erin Holland.
As I sort of alluded to before, I'm going to go with Kusal Mendes. I think we're just starting to see the best of him in this competition. He's playing well in the conditions at Gaddafi Stadium, and I did LPL last year and saw him score a brilliant 100 and runs galore. So I think he's got the chocolates for me.
Kusal Mendes. Shweb.
I think the ball is seaming around a bit. I think I'm going to go with the all-rounder. It's Fahim Ashraf, a bit of a luck with the bat, and a lot of wickets. Be taken by Fahim Ashraf. I think I'm going to go with Fahim
It's
Ashraf.
Fahim Ashraf. Ji Sana.
I hope he's playing tomorrow.
I think I'm going to go with Khurram Shahzad. He has looked really good.
बिल्कुल.
He's bowled
बड़ा
some-
spell किया है एक उन्होंने.
He's bowled some really nice spells, and I hope he can win a match with his spells. So I think I'll go with Khurram Shahzad.
खुर्रम शहजाद हैं जी सना के MVP. जी सोहेल.
I'll go with Munro. I hope because he can play, as I said, I mean, he used to of playing on these pitches where ball comes on the bat and he can play cut, he can hook. So, and he's a seasoned campaigner, you know. He knows how to tackle the pressure, and when team is under the pump, how to get out of it. So I think if Islamabad has to win, it's going to be Munro scoring runs.
And just on the conditions, while we're on that, do you think they will be similar to what we've been seeing back to back, or will there be some sort of change?
Yeah, we never seen, I mean, any change. I mean, it's a spicy pitch with a lot of pace and bounce, and it's true bounce. There's bit seam movement early on. If you tackle that, then it's a good pitch to bat on if you know how to cut, how to pull.
Absolutely well said. Taha?
My MVP for tomorrow will be Naseem Shah.
That was
it's
my MVP.
Because bowling wicket है, मुझे लग रहा है कि Naseem Shah का it's right time for him to deliver and win them the match. So I think Naseem Shah is my MVP.
Chale, Naseem was my MVP for tonight's game.
Just
but,
say it now.
But yeah,
Dobby,
once again,
Dobby.
I'll...
Agreeing on both the things, the
I cannot
winning
believe
team
this.
and MVP. कमाल है यार, आज क्या हो गया?
I can't believe. Okay, we're agreeing on this. But Naseem Shah needs to fire if Islamabad are to win tomorrow's game. But Erin, just before, of course, we wrap up, what have been your thoughts seeing PSL evolve all these years? You've been involved.
Erin, what
for
was
so
your
many
first
seasons.
season at PSL?
2019.
2019.
So
And
how
since
much
then,
has
you've been
changed?
coming every year?
Every year except for 2021 with COVID, and Australia made it very hard and very expensive to leave the country. So that's the only one that I missed, and it wasn't by choice. But for me, I think it's been so beautiful to see how the league is growing. You're finding brand new talent each and every single season. There's always, youngsters that are coming to the fore. I think the emerging player category that has to play in every playing 11 is exceptional way of breeding new talent and giving people that opportunity. And for me, I've actually just loved how from the first visit where there was so much security and all this attention and hype and whatnot, to now just feel as comfortable as anywhere else I go in the world. I jump in the car, I go out with my friends, I don't give a second thought about anything. Just feeling like this is a second home has been really beautiful. So I love how it's just become a normal part of my year to come and spend a lot of time here, whether it's doing
And you've been
PSL
shopping quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you like Pakistani fashion, I see.
I love Pakistani fashion.
Your Desi clothes?
I do. And whether it's a shalwar kameez or I was in the Farsi
Farsi
shalwar
shalwar,
as
we
well.
saw that, the
was very
purple
cool.
look, yeah.
I love the big wide leg pants. They were really cool. Kurtas are beautiful. It's a cultural difference for obviously where I grew up and what Australia is like, but it also feels so incredibly normal to me now to just immerse myself in Pakistan and everything it has to offer. So I think I just get so excited to come back and feel so loved and embraced by you all, and it honestly warms my heart, and I get so excited coming back every
And
day.
I'm sure when you're in Pakistan for all your shopping and to pay your bills and everything, I'm sure you know how to use Jazz Cash, and you have been using it, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Jazz on my phone, Jazz Cash, I got all the apps. I'm absolutely sorted. I went to the Jazz Experience Centre the other day and upgraded my iPhone, so that was awesome. Yeah, I was like, thanks. That's such an easy way to go about things. I feel like,
And we
sorted.
also saw a video of yours rescuing a little eagle from a swimming pool, a drowning eagle. Please tell us more about it.
See, I was going to the gym at Avari in
Lahore.
Lahore the other day, and this eagle looked like it was breaststroking and doing laps. And I was like, oh, look at this little, because it was a really hot day. And then it sort of became apparent that we weren't doing laps. We had fallen in the pool and we were struggling. So I was about to jump in and go and get it, but it had come to the very end. So I went and grabbed a towel and picked it up and put it in the shade so it could dry out, because I think the feathers were obviously really heavy from all the water, and it was exhausted because the whole thing, it did a whole lap, this poor little thing. So yeah, I just was about to dive in there and grab it, but my best Steve Irwin. That's what
And
I was
of
doing.
course, because you're from Australia and from that part of the world, so wild animals and animals in general don't scare you, especially the wild ones.
Eagle is the least of my worries.
Yeah?
It wasn't a crocodile, it wasn't a shark, it wasn't a spider, tarantula.
We've had some
wasn't a
snake
redback.
stories on this
Great
show,
white.
by the way.
Great white shark, crocodile.
Oh God, I'm
Boxing
still trying to find that
kangaroo.
video.
What else kills you in Australia? Everything.
Oh, wow.
Everything does. So yeah, eagle, not a
Wild fires also.
So
fires.
Wildfire.
So Hale shared a really scary story on the show the other night about his horrifying hotel experience in Sri Lanka.
In Colombo,
With the snake.
What
while the
happened?
COVID days.
What happening?
What happening?
What happening?
Snake was about to come in my room, man.
And they said it's normal.
And he was like, oh, it's nature, it's normal. I was like, okay.
Nature, it's normal.
Okay.
Seriously said that. Oh, it's nature, it's normal.
No.
I was
No,
like,
no, no.
wow, okay.
Venomous snake, right? Venomous.
Yeah,
Was it
Like why-
poisonous?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. It was like that big. It wasn't a small one. The big
I
snake.
hope you find that video for us. We'd
I'm
love
still
to
trying.
Put that on.
Yes, we will
See, is that what
definitely
you
show it
all
on
think,
the
though?
on the
Yeah,
show.
man.
Please,
it was
we
quite
find
scary,
it.
honestly.
Is that why you all think that Australia is a land of where everything just tries to kill you? Because that seems to be
No.
what people.
God,
Not at
no.
all.
I think the one country that I love to play in, I think is the one has to be South Africa after Pakistan, and another one is Australia.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. I lived in Fremantle, you know that. You know the area.
I mean, who can forget your spell at the Waka? I mean, that fastest spell to Ricky Ponting, which he himself talks about so frequently that it was the fastest ever.
I think when you
faced.
come across, this nation, of Australian, I think they're one of the best people that you come across. You know, the image that they have around the world is just absolutely not true. You know, one of the finest, one of the friendliest, one of the most competitive people. I mean, the more you put pressure on them on the field, the better they will become. That's very simple as that. I mean, don't confuse yourself putting a pressure on the Aussies. They will hit you back really hard. I mean, ask India. so, I mean, like, they are one of the best crowd in the world, and they call you a banker while you're playing.
Well,
Wasim
Wasim
is a
Bhai,
banker.
of course, Wasim Bhai discusses and
Yeah.
explains this in the best possible way. We've all seen
I
that.
mean, I could not understand that. Why they call me a banker? Seriously.
Let's have
That's
Wasim
a
Bhai
great
on the
story.
show one day and
Yeah,
he'll
I know.
explain.
And they are really at your face. The crowd is really at your face. And they were, I mean, either they scare you and they get the Australian one thing, the crowd and the teams and the players, either they get the worst out of you, and then if you're strong enough, they get the best out of you. It's very simple as that. You come as a great player. So best country to travel with. Please do go across.
So I think with this we come to an end of today's show. This was, this was an amazing show because we had an amazing guest with us today, Erin, and of course we had the Rawalpindi Express with us. Sana was here, Sohail was here. Thank you so much for joining us today, and now we will be back with you tomorrow when Islamabad plays Quetta, and we will be back with the reviews tomorrow. You were watching us on The Dugout, exclusively on Tamasha and Myco.
Bye bye.